Coming off their roughest outing of the year, the Dubs made a golden statement in their return to Cleveland. Their emphatic 34-point win in the King's Castle was the epitome of Warrior basketball, highlighted by some sweet shooting from the reigning MVPs. Tonight, the defending champs fly into the Windy City, seeking another win over an elite Eastern squad with several all-star candidates. The Warriors take on the Bulls right now. The frigid tour of the Midwest concludes tonight in Chicago, the second city, and the Warriors don't want to be second to 72 wins. That's been talked about a lot as they get ready to take on the Bulls for the second and final time. The MVP, 53. That is an NBA high, equaled by the all-star for the Bulls and Jimmy Butler, who had 53 Thursday against Philadelphia. And the Bulls trying to upend the Warriors, slow down that 72 pace tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And if you really think about this road trip, Detroit was ugly. Cleveland was beautiful. Chicago's been cold. And now for the Warriors, it really is an idea of, can they play that championship basketball?
Well, Chicago's tough, defensive-minded team. But if the Warriors bring what they did, particularly the defensive end, at the outset, like they did in Cleveland, they'll have no trouble. They'll beat anybody, anywhere, at any time.
The Cleveland game reminded the entire NBA that the Warriors are such an elite team. On offense and defense, beautiful basketball. It was tremendous to watch.
They took control of the game in that first quarter. Everybody was shooting because everybody was passing so well. Stephen Curry had 7 threes. The team had 10 by halftime. Everybody got involved, passing the ball, the 33 assists, the 8 turnovers. Just tremendous basketball. It was over at the half when the Warriors led 70-44.
Now this is a building where the Warriors have lost 11 of their last 13 games. It's a homecoming game. Sean Livingston from Peoria and Andre Iguodala from Springfield. The Finals MVP was in rare form against Cleveland. The Warriors will need it all tonight. A stingy Bulls defense. The Warriors in Chicago coming your way. Greg and the guys back in the studio right after this.
Final game of the 3-game road trip. Warriors were not so good in Auburn Hills on Saturday. Real good in Cleveland on Monday. What do we got in Chicago tonight, Stanley?
I'm looking for the A-plus defense. I'm going to be able to tell in the first 3 minutes if they're locked in, good pressure on the ball, everybody's tied together on a string, all 5 guys on the floor, and that gets you in the open floor. Bingo.
That kind of plays into where I'm going because they want to start fast and they want to stay fast. And the defense is so much a part of that. When they can defend very well, get out in transition, it gets them into their speed game, and that's what they want to do against these guys.
All right, Warriors, the defending NBA champions in the house of Michael Jordan and the 6-time NBA champion Chicago Bulls. And right in the middle there, you see the number 72, emblematic of the winningest team in the history of the NBA, the Bulls of 20 years ago. Can the Warriors get to 39-4? We'll see at halftime.
Voice activated.
About.
It's time for tip-off. Here's Fitz and JB.
The Finals MVP, Andre Iguodala, and the house that Michael built, the United Center here in Chicago, where the Bulls team #1 in field goal percentage defense. The Warriors are 3rd in that category. And a building that has been unkind to the Warriors over the years. But after that Cleveland performance, it's all about the Warriors playing to their level. When they're good, they're the best. And they reminded everyone in the NBA of that Monday night. Finished off the road trip tonight. Indiana, San Antonio, and Dallas await at Oracle over the next week. And so for Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, they are must-see as this building is packed. The Xfinity starting lineup, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, with Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut. Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Tony Snell, Taj Gibson, and Pau Gasol for Chicago. And so, Jimmy, our roundtable keys to the game. What do you got, partner?
Well, when you talk about the Warriors coming off their best game, number one, bring the Cleveland intensity at the defensive end. If they do that, it just springboards their offense. Pass it, get it back. They were so unselfish. The ball moved so well in Cleveland with those 33 assists. This team is almost unbeatable when they play like that.
And you mentioned the 33 assists, only 8 turnovers. Best assist to turnover ratio the whole season in that Cleveland game. Gasol in 47 games against the Warriors has averaged 20 and 10. He's always been a problem. Rose inside, able to score. Snell opens on Clay. Draymond Green shooting an air ball out of the corner.
You could see, though, players were open, Bob. Chicago, they're good defensively. Really, really terrific with field goal percentage at the defensive end, but they overhelp a lot. They have a tendency to overhelp, so you find three-point shooters against them, or you should tonight.
And Snell missing the three. And like you said, Jim, you find open three-point shooters, but you got to make them. But there will be opportunity to do that.
And they made 19 of them in Cleveland.
Steph Curry misfiring on the three. So the Warriors 0 for 2 from distance to begin. How did Derrick Rose make that bank shot? He just jumped to get fouled, and then it's an afterthought, lasered that in. Klay Thompson making 0 for 3 on threes, but Bogut a fresh 24. Barnes misfiring. Andrew another rebound. Ball moving around nicely. There's another open three. They missed every one of them.
Must be something about that corner. First Draymond shoots an air ball, now Harrison.
Everybody not named Bogut has taken and missed a three. Very interesting first 2 minutes. Bogut knocked it away from Gasol. Harrison Barnes, weird angle and still a very tough finish.
Well, he could have gone right to the basket, probably gotten fouled by Snell. He took their circuitous route, and that is not an easy shot, but he converted.
Clay's defense on Jimmy Butler as important as his offense tonight. Shot clock at 3. Snell's got a launch from distance. Bogut is rebounding everything. Play the trail 3. Warriors can't buy one.
You got to play through that and just continue on, try to play tough defense and hope that it comes around.
Taj Gibson, they're cross matching with Draymond guarding Pau Gasol. Warriors are daring Taj Gibson to be a scorer. Steph on the flyby reload, and there is the triple. And his consecutive game streak grows again.
You get defenders running at you at that line, which Chicago will do because they suck it in, and you've got them in your back pocket.
I'd say Derrick Rose is a little bouncy tonight. He's made 2 very tough shots on Harrison Barnes.
How about that? Out of a basket made, they push it up the floor. They did that a lot in Cleveland. And you get a practice shot, a warm-up shot for Harrison. Nobody to rebound, but he's going to make 80% of those.
Bulls have opened 4 of 6. Gasol bothered by Draymond.
He just is relentless with his pursuit there. Made it a difficult shot. Got there first, a little bit of body.
Steph Curry, another open look.
He's making a plea to Eric Lewis that he got hit on the play.
Derrick Rose is having a night. Already 4 of 4. Harrison on the reload. A 1-on-5 fast break. It was just Harrison Barnes.
Not even concerned about it. Played very well against Cleveland, 4 of 8. Made a couple of threes. Good control.
The Warriors going to yield that shot. Gibson made one, but missed there.
Yeah, he shoots over 51%, but there's a nice layup.
And Bogut running the floor.
Well, good pace for the Warriors. They're missing early on, getting back into form. Yeah, Gibson 52% from the field, but mostly from 12 feet on down. And he pursues his missed shots. Great offensive rebound.
See the electric moves of Derrick Rose, finally missing one of those bank shots.
Watch your trailer here.
But a good idea why Jimmy Butler's so good defensively. He and Clay talking mirror images of each other. Curry cutting and unable to reverse it in. Derrick Rose. And Steph behind the play. So Derrick Rose, 10 of Chicago's 12. Clay, that's a tough step back, but Bogut, another offensive rebound.
Yeah, Gibson's on Klay Thompson. He's got a little length on him. That bothered him on the last shot from the corner.
Steph driving, fouled, and lays it in.
High caliber game here, Bob. I mean, we're seeing a lot of good stuff at both ends of the floor. High intensity, players playing very hard. Love the bounce pass. Steph finally getting to the line.
I think for Fred Hoiberg, Jim, he's saying, hey, we got the Warriors 1 of 7 on threes. Oh, wait, we're losing. It's got to be a little demoralizing.
And the only player that's hurt them is Derrick Rose.
And he just subbed out for E'Twaun Moore. Fred Hoiberg played for the Bulls from 99 to 03. Iowa State head coach, and they're looking for their version of Steve Kerr, to be honest.
Yes, sir. He's got the nice personality.
Jimmy Butler. Draymond, tough finish.
Warriors right now offensively just beating him to the spots. They're running down the floor and hustling to get to places where they can score without having to do too much maneuvering.
So Harrison will take a turn on Butler here. And he just lost the handle. Curry's running, kind of a delayed break. Little separation, and there's the jumper.
That's that step back dribble, which has been a big weapon for Steph Curry this year.
So Steph's got 8. The Warriors like the tempo. A 4-point lead and an 11-4 run as Chicago takes time. Rose has 10, but the Warriors' open floor play has been better.
Visit CashCreek.com for details.
In Chicago, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Rosgold on Wood A. Our Geico Advanced Analytics stat, the highest field goal percentage in the paint this season. Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Parker, Dragic, and Wiggins. So out of guards only, that's an amazing number for Steph and Jimmy Butler. And you also, and always know, Tony Parker's been terrific finishing inside.
To be a great player, you've got to be a great finisher. You can't be one-dimensional.
Steph continues to have the largest scoring increase for an MVP. Our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. He's upped his average 6 points from his MVP season.
He's the leading scorer in first quarters with almost 9 points a game this year.
Well, that's the funny one. He's the leading first and third. LeBron is the leading second and fourth.
Curry's got 8 in the first quarter here tonight so far.
Lob to Bogut, and he rammed it down with the left hand.
Gasol got caught on it. Couldn't recover.
Clay knocked it away. Shot clock at 7. Gasol bothered by Bogut, but that's Taj Gibson's game. Offensive glass. Bogut with a block. What a first quarter for Curry and Andrew Bogut right now. E'Twaun Moore, good defense.
Sometimes you get called for that reach around almost automatically. Not that time.
Needs one more. That's a highlight reel for him. The steal on Steph, the finish on the other end. Fifth-year player from Purdue with some special play. A Thompson triple. First playing time for the man they call McBuckets, Doug McDermott, out of Creighton. Very good perimeter shooter. More missing there. Draymond snatching the rebound. And Draymond Green to the line.
Going 100 miles an hour. I'm a defender there. I'm going to test because he's going so fast. I'm going to test and see if he can bank that in on the run like that. And Gibson bailed him out here. He did come to the 2-foot plant, which slows his momentum down. He does that very well. Been doing it more this season.
Draymond rattling the free throw out. Remember tonight's game and all Warrior games on CSN are streamed live at the NBC Sports Live Extra app. Do it on your mobile phone or tablet. Stream the Warriors on the go.
Gibson goes out. Mirotic comes in. So you trade it. Inside player, great offensive rebounder for a three-point shooter.
It's one thing is Draymond misses both free throws. His free throw percentage is moving downward. And as much as he's been terrific in getting to the line, he's got to take advantage. There's more misses there. Mirotic, an extra possession. Mirotic out of the corner, and Bogut, rebound number 7.
At least they ran at Mirotic. He's made 73s, the most of any Bulls player this year. You've got to stay hooked to him.
Draymond looked to pass initially. Shot clock at 3. Barbosa riding in.
Ball movement. It moves the defenders. They get out of position, and then you get a layup. Nicely done. Oh, that's late there.
And Bogut going to make him earn it.
Pau Gasol made up his mind. He saw the lane, had the opening. All you could do was foul.
The Bulls are the #1 field goal percentage defense team, and yet the Warriors are 55% right now.
Welcome back to the United Center. Warriors up 9 on the Bulls. If you've noticed that Festus Ezeli looks extra active and aggressive lately, that's because it's intentional. He missed 3 games with a sore toe in his left foot, and he said since then, he's been re-energized. He told me he found himself on the bench feeling like, I gotta get back on the court. Yeah, and even if it means fighting through discomfort. He shared that his role is growing, and he's coming into his own, not just as a player, but as a voice on the court. And he's a dependable one, too. With this team, he feels he's having a bigger role. He said, part of my job is to bring energy. I pick guys up. I'm vocal when we're down, and I do it with my behavior.
I think that's a great point, Roz, is that young guys find their voice a little bit. Someone like Draymond's been a leader his whole life. But for Festus, he's still very young in the game.
Yes, he
But
is.
there's an energy and a bounce to him that can be contagious. And so Leandro Barbosa has a role. He's kind of effervescent and energetic. But I think Festus, because he's young and having fun and can block shots and dunk and do things that gets his teammates excited, he's evolving into his role on the team. It's nice to see.
He's going to pattern that personality after Draymond. And sometimes that behavior gets you sent to the principal's office.
Well, I mean, we talk about this a lot, Jim. The Warriors really are a quiet team, other than Draymond Green. Beautifully done. You want to jump at Steph Curry? He'll make you pay.
Well, that's what he did all the time in Cleveland. He made him pay the double team. Kevin Love doesn't come out. He knocks the 3. They come out to double team. Throw it to the next guy, usually Draymond Green. He got 10 assists that night.
Al Gasol from the elbow. Warriors started 1 of 7. They've made 10 of their last 14.
I just love their intensity. Didn't worry about missing shots. They just kept playing.
You brought up the good point, Jim. They were all good shots. They're getting looks. Look at the ball hop around with the shot clock at 5. 3-second violation as Healy had not vacated the lane.
Last possession, you come out. The big man exposes there, Jimmy Butler, and you slide. You don't worry about blocking or making that screen anymore. You slip to the basket. Draymond Green does a great job of that, reading where the defender is.
Pau Gasol, Mirotic, Jimmy Butler, E'Twaun Moore, and Doug McDermott. Shot clock at 7. Butler missing long. Curry runs to the line and hits another. That's a deep 2. He had his foot on the line. He made some fans very happy as he turned around and high-fived a little girl.
You should have fun while you play, especially when you're the MVP, and most likely you're the hottest player on the floor most of the time.
So Gasol is fouled. He was held by Iguodala, and we check in with Roz.
Jim, you mentioned that Steph, he has fun out there. You know, after that big performance against the Cavs, I asked him, do you have a killer instinct? And he said, yeah, but in my own way. I don't like to scowl or be nasty. I know the moment, but I want to have fun as well.
It is a game. You should have fun. I've always said that at basketball camps. It's a game, and a game is designed to have fun. You can be all business out there, but still have fun, and they should. If he hits that.
Mirotic contested nicely.
Kind of surprised him, but look at that error.
Steph is just grabbed by E'Twaun Moore. No, I think, you and Roz are talking about it. His nickname, the baby-faced assassin, says a couple things about him. He has that next-door neighbor little boy look, but people have doubted his toughness his whole life, and so he's got no problem putting you away. And you brought it up in the Sacramento game. Rajon Rondo was trying to make a statement.
Yes.
Steph outscored him 38-4. He's got a killer instinct.
Yes, he does. He's competitive. Of course he does. You don't get to this level without having some semblance of that, and he's got it to his core. See, Jimmy Butler, one too many dribbles there. Had Moore open momentarily, but Moore worked himself to the line regardless.
Well, Moore trying to end a 24-7 Warrior run. When you come into Chicago, they hold opponents to 42% shooting. The Warriors start 1 of 7, and yet they're shooting 58% in the first quarter. Season ticket priority wait list has grown over 20,500 right now. Waitlist members get priority access to exclusive presale opportunities. Best available season tickets the moment they become available at 888-GSW-HOOP. So the free throw split. Iguodala, Curry, Barbosa with Harrison Barnes and Ezeli. Down to 3. Andre for 3, and he's fouled. Opportunity for a 4-point play.
E'Twaun Moore is a good defender, just got a little too close to him that time. Not sure that he hit him, because Andre made it nicely. He hit him just after the shot, just enough for Derek Stafford to say, that's a foul. And it is. Andre he was 4 of 5 from three-point range in Cleveland, and then misses the free throw.
Would the Warriors backslide after Cleveland, or would they build on their best performance? Well, for the first 12 minutes, it looks like the Cavs game. In Chicago, against the stingy Bulls, in a building that's been a house of horrors over the years. But so far, the first 12 minutes is the Warriors up 16.
This is Harrison Barnes, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
7 Warriors score, 34 points total as we get ready to begin the second. And for the Warriors, they have been so good in moving the ball. Curry is the only player in double figures. 60% shooting, and in the last 5 quarters, Jim, 45 assists and only 10 turnovers.
That's just a terrific team ratio. What a first quarter.
That pass surprised Ezeli. McDermott missing there.
Halfway through the quarter, the Warriors were 8 of 17. Barnes hits again, 47%. Wow, they finished that quarter the last 6 minutes, 7 of 8 from the field.
So Bobby Portis, his first playing time with McDermott, Mirotic, Rose, and Aaron Brooks. Fred Hoiberg's going 2 small point guards, and Portis, the beneficiary of the Rose drive. And Barbosa is fouled.
Foul call on Aaron Brooks, his first, team's first.
So Livingston, Barbosa, Barnes, Iguodala, and Ezeli. The Leandro jumper is perfect.
I read somewhere the Warriors have won 55 games in a row without losing when they had a 10-point lead. So they've got a 19-point lead again here. This is remarkable. Let's hope that holds true. Not losing a lead of 10 points ever in 55 games.
Zealy missing the baby hook. Portis 3. But the Bulls are 0 for 8 from distance. Warriors start at 1 of 7. They're 4 of 11 on threes. Livingston behind the back.
Oh, what a play. When the bench players come in and give you this kind of momentum and continue the fine play of the starters, this team not only deep, but perhaps unbeatable.
Well, if there's a bright spot for the Bulls, is that Derrick Rose looks good. He's 6 of 7.
That was I'll tell you what, that was the play of the game from Livingston. Behind the back, Barbosa, he just flips it in.
As I said, Derrick Rose looks good.
Looks like the former MVP that he was.
He does. He has 14 of Chicago's 24, and Luke Walton's going to take a timeout.
I'm glad to see Derrick Rose back healthy and playing and with a little more consistency for him, for his sake.
And it's good for the NBA.
Absolutely.
9:34 remaining in the first half. And Sean Livingston putting on a show with that delivery. And the skyline of the second city. Temperatures creeping up to 20 today, but 9.5 remaining in the first half. Our Lexus pursuit of perfection. 5 Warriors are part of the 30 that will comprise the Rio Olympic basketball team for Team USA. They will trim that down, but 30 guys still in the mix. 5 of them are Warriors, the most of any team in the NBA. Cavaliers and Clippers have 3 each.
Well, they make up a good team here. Might as well make up a good team there.
Portis blocking Mo Spates, who had just checked in. Be interesting. Andre Iguodala has 2 gold medals already. Steph Curry has 2 world championship medals, as does Clay. But Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Harrison Barnes.
See how valuable and how simple a pump fake is? One simple pump fake. Players do not use that and utilize it often enough. Nice by Barnes.
It's Derrick Rose who's doing well. The rest of the Bulls are struggling. And Barnes with 11, helping out Curry with 10. The 2 Warriors in double digits.
Somebody didn't run the right way because he got a little frustrated. Can he hit another 3?
Aaron Brooks and Rose. As we said, 2 point guards trying to go quick. And speaking of quick, that looks like Derrick Rose.
He saw one singular defender. He does what he does best. Attack him.
Clay, tough shot.
Last 5 games, Clay has been not scoring as well as he was. Around 17 a game. Previous 5, around 32 a game.
Mirotic misfiring. Clay waited for a runner. It's Livingston inside. I love the patience on that secondary break.
No one is pounding the ball. The ball is moving. Yeah, you dribble once in a while, but then you pass ahead, you pass to the side, and you cut. No one is hogging the ball.
Portis sucked up the space and then followed his own shot.
He's a natural scorer.
Only 20 years old.
He's going to score a lot in this league before his career is over. Mark my words. He can score, he can shoot, score, and he likes to do it. Let's watch him back him down.
Aaron Brooks getting a little rugged, and Livingston shoots right over him.
Brooks did a good job, held his ground, made him take about a 12-foot fadeaway, but it's his game tonight for Sean Livingston.
Sean from Peoria, Illinois. Andre from Springfield. Mo Spades committing the foul.
I don't know what more you can ask for your defender to do. Move your feet, hold your position. Probably could have called a little push off there on Sean. They let him play it out, and Livingston won the battle.
Draymond Green will check in. Iguodala, 3 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. McDermott, good cut, and was able to cram that home. Partially blocked, and it still went in. Warriors' biggest lead has been 21. And Mo, that's a shot that he's supposed to take. It's rimmed out.
His minutes have been sporadic, up and down. We know he can score, but he's got to play the D and prove to the coaches he belongs there.
Bobby Portis, the rookie out of Arkansas, has given the Bulls a little energy here with 6 off the bench. And a lot of hand fighting with Livingston and Aaron Brooks. And Aaron Brooks called for the foul. And we'll get Taj Gibson and Brandon Rush into the game.
Aaron Brooks has found a home here. He's playing very, very well. Last year into this year. So things change now with Gibson. He hits the glass.
That's going to be Harrison's biggest issue on the other end, because Draymond slides to the 5 spot here. Lean in jumper. Harrison Barnes looking for contact. Gibson did well to avoid him.
Got the contact, didn't get the whistle.
Aaron Brooks 3.
Got to stay attached to him. That's what he's looking for.
So Chicago is officially back into the game. A 15-6 run and through the wickets. And Brandon Rush turning it over. Steph going to check in at the next opportunity. A 16-point Warrior lead at the end of 1. It's at 12 right now. But the Chicago reserves have had the edge in play. As Brooks is fouled. So Harrison Barnes, 5 of 8 shooting. He's got 11 as he sits. Steph Curry back in.
Barnes doesn't take a lot of shots. I'm glad to see him already have 8 field goals attempted tonight. No hesitation from him right at the outset.
Draymond committing his second foul.
Let's see if the Warriors can get Klay Thompson going. We got a technical foul, maybe double. It'll be on Brooks.
And Livingston.
Yep.
This has been going on since that post-up where they were going back and forth. Sean shot over him, and then Brooks fouled him again, and then now the double team.
Well, Brooks thought he was fouled on that one play where he got burned on the field goal. He felt that Livingston bumped into him, pushed off a little bit. You know, when you're that size, you've got to be a little feisty. He's barely 6 feet.
Jimmy Butler missing that 3, and Draymond with a rebound.
Let's see if Klay can get untracked. It's tough with Gibson on him, though. He's bothered him so far tonight.
Sean sees no double coming. Says, all right, the game within the game. Well, Livingston versus Brooks.
He's so long and handles the ball so well, you can't get to it. Brooks usually can bother somebody in that area. Not tonight.
Sean's got 6 off the bench. Klay, nice strip down low. Draymond dived to save it.
That's what he does.
Chicago's going to use a timeout.
How about Draymond Green? The Warriors did not get the ball, but how many players in this league do what he did to try to save it?
5:22 left in the half. That's your backup point guard. Posted up. Calm. Yeah, plenty of water in the Midwest. It's of the frozen variety. Warrior lead at 14 with 5:22 remaining in the first half. Our Ford Wright choice. The most popular selling jersey in the NBA is Steph Curry. The most popular team merchandise in the NBA, October, November, December, the Golden State Warriors. And the funniest name on that list is the Knicks rookie Kristaps Porzingis. I guess all the Knicks fans that booed his draft,
yes,
now are all buying his jersey. They love New York fans. They're so terrific.
They had him wrong.
Good for Phil Jackson. Draymond couldn't quite collect that rebound. I'm impressed with Portis, Jim. He's athletic. He's skilled. He battled Draymond there.
He's taller than Draymond. He's got a distinct height advantage. And as I said, he's a natural scorer.
22nd pick in the first round out of Arkansas. 20 years of age, and he's 6'11". So Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Taj Gibson, Aaron Brooks, and Pau Gasol back in.
Jimmy Butler still with only 2 points. He's been the third leading scorer in the league in the last 11 games. Nearly 27 a night.
Rose, good delivery, good passing. Gasol couldn't finish. Long rebound. There's Taj Gibson's game. You better bring a hard hat when you box him out. Rose missing. And Curry did well to come back and help his bigs.
Gibson didn't know he was there. He picked him.
Draymond the early seal. Klay Thompson's a little off tonight, but Draymond Green setting up Steph Curry and a foul.
I watched the ball there, and let's see where Brooks hit him. I saw him coming out of the corner of my eye, and I thought, I hope Curry doesn't get hurt on this play, because I knew he was coming low. Let's see what happens. Curry's trying to get it off quickly. Oh, yeah, you had to close it. That's dangerous. That is really dangerous.
Well, Brooks bumped into Derrick Rose,
yes,
who then was out of control. And fortunately for Steph, as he was elevated and didn't have a foot planted back on the ground, because that's how you blow a knee out.
That looked a little worse than a couple of situations we saw in Cleveland.
Although you still have to explain to me why Mozgov was diving at Curry's legs.
Oh, he got pushed a little bit and fell down. He was clumsy. He was clumsy, you know. He fell down like that and got tangled up with Curry. And this is almost like J.R. Smith coming in to Harrison Barnes, knocking Harrison back into the legs of Curry.
Yeah, that one Brooks pushed Rose inadvertently. I don't think Derrick was... He wouldn't have lost his balance there.
No, I don't think so either. But to me, that was scarier.
Yep. And Steph hitting all 3 free throws.
Might have been even more scary. I guess scarier is a word. Don't like it. Not many people can create that kind of move in the lane where there's usually traffic. You go left, you go right, stop on a dime. These are great ball handling skills.
Now, it's a foul, and they're also going to call it goaltending because Draymond touched it when it was on the rim.
And it was coming off.
Yeah, count the basket, and he'll shoot 1 free throw.
You're seeing Derrick Rose at his best tonight.
He's electric.
Yes, he is.
Off the dribble, and he's got 19 in the first half. Half of Chicago's points.
I think Stephen Curry will have an answer for that as this game progresses. Those are the little things sometimes you play for, too. Not only just the win.
Curry down the lane, and he's to the line. And Bogut comes away limping. Andrew trying to work something out here. I wonder if he got kneed in the leg. He's in some distress.
I'm sure he's been hurt more than that, or worse than that, in the Outback country. Didn't look like there was any contact there.
I wonder if he rolled his ankle a little bit. Felt something right away.
He's trying to feel it out.
So Steph knocking down both free throws. Rose with 19, Curry with 15. 16-point lead at the end of one. It's 16 right now. Rose again.
Can they make him a perimeter shooter at all? Just play off him a little bit, force jump shots. To me, that's the avenue.
Iguodala corner three.
Again, suck in the defense, penetration, kick outs. They're doing it extremely well tonight.
Warriors started 1 of 7 on threes.
They've got 18 assists right now, Bob.
And that time Curry picked Rose's pocket. Ricochet right back to him. Taj Gibson.
And we got the perimeter shot from Derrick Rose. Couldn't secure the rebound.
Iguodala driving.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. You have to know where it is.
Shot clock at 5, and Clay couldn't quite make the layup. We're going to play by Bogut. And Steph rewards him.
Bogut barely got back into the playing area. He saw what was coming. What a play.
Andrews 8 rebounds, leading everyone in both teams. Gasol misfiring.
On the go again.
Luke Walton's going to use the timeout.
Just to get a little break here, regroup. Several guys are winded.
Shooting 56%. The Warrior lead at 17. And Andrew Bogut, extra effort, so his point guard rewards the big man.
Welcome to a place like nowhere else. Where once in a lifetime happens every night. Where we believe in the unbelievable. In the unpredictable. The incredible. Where we make plans for the unforgettable. Because here, you never know. This is why we're
30 on CSN Bay Area.
A huge influence. My high school coach was really important for me because he kind of showed me how to prepare for games. You know, we used to watch film, and you're in there like, why are we watching film? You don't quite understand it. And then when you get to the next level, you're like, oh, you know, things that were routine before other guys didn't have, I was already accustomed to, and, you know, it was an easy transition for me. So my high school coach played a huge role, even though I was a pain in the ass.
And he was to the fact where, hey, I just want to be out on the perimeter and pass the ball and that type of thing. We're like, Dre, we need you inside. We need baskets. We need points. And that's probably where that came from. And then just with any high school kids, you know, I was probably the same way a lot of times. When you're younger, you don't get the full picture till you get away from it. He gets the picture now.
Craig Patton from Lamphere High School, Andre's high school coach, and our McDonald's True Story with Andre and Sean Livingston, a couple Illinois guys, and they kind of claim Chicago on the outskirts, and it's a homecoming for both of them. And Iguodala was quite the high school track athlete.
He was a track and field star. He was initially getting scholarship offers for his track and field. He high jumped in high school 6 feet 10 inches, 6'10", nearly 7 feet, and he was also a triple jumper, no surprise there. He went 45 feet. Sean Livingston, 2 high school championships for him in his junior and senior year.
Sean developed his vertical leap by trying to jump with that baggy uniform on, and that was like wearing a sleeping bag.
Well, he grew up idolizing and patterning his game after Magic Johnson, and that looked like Gasol tipped it in. Magic Johnson and Penny Hardaway. Those were his heroes for Sean Livingston.
Sean almost went to Duke, but ended up being the 4th pick overall, and high schoolers could still declare for the NBA. E'Twaun Moore lost the handle. It's loose on the deck. Harrison Barnes.
They've got numbers. Just attack. When you're going 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, you should attack the basket every time. You should try to finish the play yourself.
That ball was kicked. We noticed that Andrew Bogut was laboring.
That's a back issue there, stretching it out. I think he got a little cramp or something, maybe in the hamstring, and then went up the back. He's trying to stretch that back out.
So with halftime looming, Andrew has gone in for attention. And he's now missing that three. And Klay Thompson got the rebound, but there's a foul. Klay will pick up the personal.
Very quiet here in the United Center. Bob?
Well, I think Bulls fans definitely had an energy and an anticipation for this game. Everything in this town is all about the Warriors' pursuit of Chicago's 72-10.
Yes.
It's talked about. Bill Wennington, who's the radio analyst for the Bulls, said, hey, we may crack a little champagne when the Warriors lose their 11th game.
Interesting.
That's a Miami Dolphin tradition whenever an NFL team finally is vanquished.
When they were in 1972, 17-0, there's Bill Wennington out of St. John's.
I talked to John Paxson before the game, and he also just said, hey, yeah, we're watching the Warriors.
Look at the ball move tonight. Got 19 assists on your 25 made baskets. The Bulls, 19 baskets, 8 assists.
And what I'm liking with the Warriors, it's the 19 assists and 5 turnovers. He's taking great care of the ball. Iguodala up and under. That would have been something else.
Well, he's got to learn to do that little reverse like Curry has, and Klay Thompson has it now too. Reverse it right off the board. It's an easy shot for you.
They denied Butler. Final minute of the first half. Powell with the post up. Snell for 3. Klay Thompson will track it down. The Bulls 1 of 11 on distance.
Look at their percentage overall.
38% for the game.
Curry posting up.
Draymond came to set that screen, and that's not a shot Steph's going to miss often.
That's a good little play, and I have no idea where Draymond Green's defender went because he left Curry all alone.
Oh, they're missing the bank shot. Ward has tried to say, what hands by Draymond Green. Iguodala reversing it.
Well, he doesn't need to use the board if he can get that angle and that kind of finish.
Warrior bench having fun with that.
But you don't always get that finish.
With the shot clock off, the biggest lead has been 21. It was 16 at the end of 1, but right now at 19. And Butler with 3. At 2, Jimmy Butler 4-3. And the Warriors hold the Bulls to 37% shooting.
Against Cleveland, they had 70 at halftime to 44. Tonight, 63. They'll take it.
They've taken a step backwards, Jim. They need to work on it. But a beautiful half of basketball by the Warriors. 63-44 at the break. Curry and Harrison Barnes in double figures. But the Warriors on both ends, offense and defense, playing championship basketball. Iguodala in his Illinois homecoming with 8. And Sean Livingston with some great post-ups with his 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting. And so the depth of the Warriors, impressive. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Monty Poole in the studio for Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box, right after this.
Fluid.
We certainly did not know it at the time, but that loss Saturday in Auburn Hills, Michigan may have been the best thing for the Warriors. They were flat for a couple of weeks, but they were ticked off after that loss. Monday in Cleveland, they were great. Inside the United Center, the house that Michael built, the 6-time NBA champion Bulls. They're not quite as strong as Monday, but pretty good. They had 20 assists to 5 turnovers in the first half. Welcome to Warriors Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, they were terrific in the first half, St.
Oh, they really were. That was the standout stat, without a doubt. But 17 points in the first quarter, and Rose is really playing well. The starters played terrific defense. And by the way, that guy right there is making a few shots. And what a great knack he has, Pop, to give that up fake and let defenders run by him and create space for himself. And oh, by the way, don't forget the usage of the left hand. As good as we have in the entire league, he just broke that guy's ankle. He's at the hospital in Chicago. and there it is, the lob pass. Pop, they ran that play they ran the other night, and they got another lob dunk on the thing. So shame on the Bulls.
How about the matchup between Steph and Derrick Rose?
Brother.
Derrick Rose having a flashback to his MVP year in 2010, 2011. He had 21 points in the first half. That's not actually Jimmy Butler there. He's wearing Butler's jersey, but that's not exactly Jimmy Butler.
Warriors Halftime Report is...
Warriors led by 16 after a quarter. They led by as many as 21 and 19 at halftime. Derrick Rose is going off a little bit here. Any concerns for the second half, Shane?
Yeah, let's try to get him going to his left hand. He gets right. He's killing people. Let's see how big Bogues is, if he's going to be able to play. And we might see a little bit more of the small lineup.
May have to, although Andrew Bogut had a good first half. His back did tighten up. That's young MC posing as Jimmy Butler.
Honda.
But our Jack in the Box at the half, the Warriors make basketball look simple. Spectacular offense and tremendous defense. 63 points, but it's not three-point shooting. If you're just getting home from work, this is the Warriors playing the D, rebounding, and running the Bulls into submission. I think the tempo shocked Chicago.
It's a carryover from Cleveland.
Yeah.
They feel it right now. They want to duplicate that effort that they made a couple of nights ago. They've done everything right. Defense has been tremendous. Only one player, Derrick Rose, has hurt them.
Yep.
They got nearly a third of the points off the bench. Excuse me, a third of the points from the bench. And the bench has been shooting around 65%. Just tremendous effort from everybody.
20 assists, only 5 turnovers, taking care of the ball. So many different Warriors involved. Jim mentioned Derrick Rose. He's the one Bull that has it going in our KFC bucket chart. From your hometown KFC, Chicago is Derrick Rose's hometown. 10 of 15, 21 points, but he has 1 assist.
Well, he's getting he's taking the ball into his own hands tonight, and you can see where his shots come from. So he's penetrating. No one is pushing him out to the three-point line, and he's someone you have to concentrate on. But how about Jimmy Butler? He only has 4 at the half.
If you're Chicago, what if the Warriors get hot from three-point land? They start at 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. They're playing almost perfect basketball. And as you said, continuation of the Cleveland game.
They've done this with Klay Thompson holding 3 points. He averages 21 a game.
The work halfway done with the third quarter on the way. Andrew Bogut had a spectacular first half with 6 points and 8 rebounds. Had a block shot and was in the middle of everything. Sprained his back and was laboring a little bit. And yet he is starting the second half, and we check in with Roz.
Yeah, the Warrior staff has labeled it a back sprain. He is in the game. I saw him jog out of the locker room, and before the tip of the second half, he was actually on the court stretching his own back out, not with trainers. Seems ready to go.
I mean, Andrew told us that it's just going to lock up every once in a while, and they just try to get it loose. I mean, you're 7 feet tall, and midway through the season, it's going to happen a little bit.
Yeah, we can see him pulling those legs up. Now, by the way, Steph Curry against the Bulls, the last 2 years, 6 of 25 from three-point range. He was 1 of 4 in the first half. We'll see how that plays out. That's the second worst shooting team that he goes against. He shoots 29% over the last 2 years against the Hawks.
Cannot believe that Pau Gasol is 0 for 6 right now. The Warriors have denied him. Bogut went between the legs. Curry tried to return it back to him. But out of bounds, it's still Warrior ball.
Sure like to see Klay Thompson get on track. He's 1 of 8 tonight.
So we set the lineups with Bogut, Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Shot clock at 3. Draymond just checked that he's got to shoot a 3. Guess who batted it back? Bogut, but Taj Gibson was there. Taj Gibson, Derrick Rose, Pau Gasol, with Jimmy Butler and Tony Snell for Chicago. And Rose, these bank shots. from like 16 feet.
Well, we've seen him do that throughout his career. He likes to put it off the bank. 7 years in the league. Missed the majority of 2 years.
8 halves of 20 or more assists. The whole rest of the league has 9.
I would imagine the defense of Chicago is going to try to toughen up this half. The Warriors got anything they wanted in that first half.
Clay to beat the shot clock perfectly.
Did it very nicely. And when you're not hitting outside, try to get to the basket. Get a couple of easy ones. It gets you going, and that's what Clay did there.
All right, put your shooter eye back on. Isn't this a cavernous building? Wouldn't the backdrop on threes be a little odd?
That shouldn't affect you, though. I know what you're saying. In fact, I almost said that word to you in the first half, cavernous. Well, Jimmy Butler was very quiet in the first half. What do you think's more cavernous, Staples Center or United Center?
Well, it's interesting is that I think there is a little something to it in that when the Bulls moved from the Chicago Stadium to the United Center, Phil Jackson started hosting shoot-arounds here because even the great championship Bulls teams, as Draymond missed that shot and he is behind the play. Gasol missing. And Bogut diving on the deck.
And he is still down. They've got to call a timeout here.
Draymond Green is in distress.
Hit right in the noggin.
20-second timeout.
So 22nd timeout.
He tried to force the play. There was nowhere to go, and I don't know whether he bumped heads, whatever it was. Makes the spin move. Gibson's there.
Draymond went down immediately, and he is still down. We'll make it a full timeout, but the toughest Warrior is struggling. He's hurting.
Over the
I'm Jim Kozimor tonight on Sports Talk Live, immediately following Sportsnet Central. I go one-on-one with new 49ers head coach Chip Kelly. He'll address why this is the right fit for him and what he learned from his time in Philadelphia. Plus, I'll ask about Colin Kaepernick's future with the 49ers. Tonight, Sports Talk Live after Sportsnet Central. Back to Chicago. Fitz, JB, and Roz. Here's more on Draymond Green.
Looking forward to Koz's interview with Chip Kelly. And good news, bad news for the Warriors. Good news is Draymond got up, but he got rocked in the face there. And he was in definite distress and had to go to the locker room. Now, to give you an idea of Taj Gibson's strength, it was Gibson's elbow that broke the bone in Derrick Rose's face in Bulls training camp this year. And that was an inadvertent play.
Yeah, that was the heel of the hand, and he just tried to get his defensive position. And Draymond Green is an aggressive player.
But that's a strong man in Taj Gibson, and that hurt.
I agree with the no call.
Yeah, it was not a foul.
You know, it's just, you got to stick your nose in there, and sometimes you take a chance. Usually happens when you're rebounding.
Jimmy Butler got Brandon Rush in the air.
Well, he's struggling from the field. That's a smart play. Get yourself to the line. That's a Rick Barry move.
So, and finish the thought here about this United Center is that Phil Jackson noticed that the championship Bulls had huge problems shooting here because the Chicago Stadium was so intimate, much like Oracle is, and the fans are right behind the basket, and there was a backdrop. And this building does feel very cavernous. You said Staples Center. That's a good comparison. And well, I just the depth perception on some of these deeper shots, you just wonder.
What was the previous stadium? What was it?
Chicago Stadium.
What was before that? Do you remember?
They played at the amphitheater.
Okay. Well, I remember playing in the Chicago Stadium. It was about 40 degrees inside. Not ideal shooting situation. Warriors got a little sloppy there. 2-on-1. Did they handle it right? Not really.
And Butler will get to the line.
They didn't get a layup out of it. The United or the Chicago Stadium back in when they came into the league. This is the 50th year, by the way, 66, 67, my rookie year.
Right.
Johnny Kerr was coach, and there weren't very many people coming to games then, and it was freezing. I used to sit on the bench with gloves on, keep my hands warm. Really, you needed it.
Butler dropping in the free throw. Sunday, January 31st, following the Warrior game against the Knicks. Your favorite athletes honor the coaches that made it all possible. The Coaching Core Game Changer Awards presented by Levi's. It'll be right here on CSN Bay Area. Did it ever matter in all the places, backcourt obviously in Oregon and things like that, the depth perception or backdrop for a shooter?
Only time that I thought it would bother me was we played in the Houston Astrodome with 41,000 people.
Oh, there you go.
And they put a court right in the middle of the football stadium. And there was no depth perception. Had to get used to that.
So without Draymond Green, how do the Warriors handle this? They're leading by 13 right now.
Barnes did a super job there.
Gasol just having an off night. Steph weaving through the defense. Powell blocking that. And Curry made it anyway.
He's got a great feel for the game. Knew exactly what was going on there, and he knew he'd have a little push shot. Just great hands. Good control.
Rose missing. Butler soaring in.
Well, he timed that one perfectly. Warriors aren't out of the woods here. That lead is down to 13. At one time in the first half, it was 21.
It was 19 at the half. Shot clock at 7.
Gibson, good defender.
Harrison Barnes shooting long.
Defense by committee there to slow up Derrick Rose.
Without Draymond, they're going inside. Bogut came for the weak side beautifully. What a defensive stop.
Good recognition and reaction. You can tell that back is bothering him.
He's moving very gingerly. That ball was kicked.
He's walking like he's already 50 years old. Moving around back there, just very stiff.
Without Draymond, too, you're taking away another facilitator.
Of course.
You know, with all this attention on Curry, they put Butler on him.
He's the leading assist man.
Harrison Barnes, good look. Warriors can't buy a 3. Bogut saving it, no look. 12 boards for Bogut in 18 minutes.
They'll talk about that one on the plane. That's deep.
Curry offline. The Warriors throw it away. I'll tell you what. These teams are 6 of 32 on threes tonight. The Warriors are the best three-point shooting team in the league. And Chicago is the 5th best three-point shooting team in the league. And yet 6 of 32 combined. Ugly.
Got to see the cutter and lead him. Don't throw behind him.
Jimmy Butler. This gets to single digits. And you're going to get this crowd involved. Butler has the last 10 points for the Bulls. We said he had a 40-point half against Toronto. He had 53 in the game against Philly.
He had 4 the next night in 36 minutes after the 53.
Harrison Barnes, it's a big basket. Try to settle things down in his first bucket of the second half.
Did a great job separating that time from Gibson.
Bogut another block. Curry on Rose. The crowd liking that. Klay Thompson, and there's a 3.
Finally gets that one down. He's got 3 hoops tonight. 2 of them are threes.
So the Bulls make their surge, get 10 from Butler in the 3rd. And Andrew Bogut helping out Brandon Rush. And you know the three-point shooting's going to come around eventually.
Welcome back to the United Center. Warriors up 16 on the Bulls. The Warriors have a chance to chase the 95-96 Bulls and their 72-10 record. But should the Warriors actually get close and likely have secured a #1 seed, should they rest players when they have the opportunity? Well, Luke Walton said if it's something the players were okay with and wanted, we're okay with that. But it's not going to change how we game plan. Sean Livingston said we'd go for it. Once we're close enough, we're going to take the test, just like we did at the beginning of the season with the win streak. And Draymond Green said if we get that close, we're competitive. We're going to want to get it done. Jim, a penny for your thought?
These players don't want to rest. If they have a chance, it's going to be very difficult to rest them. Right down to the last game, if need be. They want to play. They want to compete. I agree.
Long way to go, and if they're in striking distance and they get that whiff of competition, you know the Warriors will want to do that. Butler scoring on one end, Klay Thompson fouled on the other. But I think Luke Walton made a good point. If it's time for Iguodala or Bogut or Livingston or even Steph to miss a game, they're going to do that because the playoffs and the #1 seed in the championship, they matter far more than records in the regular season.
I do know this, when they had 24 straight wins and no losses going to Milwaukee, the coaches planned on resting a few players. And Draymond Green made a speech in the locker room in Boston and said, before he heard this news about resting, okay, guys, we're going to Milwaukee. They did, in fact, lose the game. But he said, no excuses about being tired. We're going in there. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Sound like Newt Rockne. So no one rested. But they lost.
They were within 9 games of the 33. Yeah. I think if they get within 9 games of 72, it'd be a little different. But
well, I'm just saying, they're competitive. Warriors started this quarter here 4 of 15 shooting.
Aaron Brooks, just kind of a wild throw. In case you're wondering, that 72-win Chicago team, only 2 Bulls played every game that year.
Steve Kerr and MJ.
And Michael Jordan. Steph felt he was pushed down. That pass went over his head because he was on the ground. Luke Walton thought the same. It's a 15-point game, and Butler is having an amazing second half. Klay playing very good defense there. And Brooks knocked it away from Iguodala. And Bogut just going to make sure Butler's got to shoot free throws.
The reach around, yeah, you might get the ball. That was kind of a Walt Frazier thing. You get the arm, you get the hand on the ball and the arm, you pull down. It's very clever.
Pacers on Friday, Authentic Fan Friday. Get verified official tickets at Warriors.com or 888-GSW-HOOP. All fans get the Steph Curry cheer card. And the Authentic Fan Friday presented by Comcast Sportsnet.
Derrick Rose, 2 points this half. Butler, all the rest.
A lot of Warrior fans wherever we go. The 30 jerseys are everywhere. Steph Curry is firing there. Zealy couldn't quite track it down. Draymond Green had gone to the locker room, and so the Warriors have been a little off kilter without one of their leaders as Aaron Brooks misses that 3. Barbosa, Iguodala, Curry with the Zealy and Barnes.
We're talking the timeout. Yes, they do miss Draymond Green offensively. And the way he becomes a playmaker, they look a little disjointed right now.
Mirotic couldn't quite extend, but Zealy was out of bounds. Warriors continue to play rock solid defense. The Bulls are 36% for the game. They were 36% for the first half. Mirotic had Barbosa, but Portis is a very good shooter for 6'10".
You got to come out on him.
Chicago had trimmed it once earlier to 11. They held the Warriors 4 of 17 here in the third.
A lot of dribbling.
Barbosa is fouled.
Not much passing, cutting here. Now, when you've got Zealy in there, that limits what you can do offensively from that position, the 5 position. Andrew Bogut, a lot of times you run the offense through him. You prefer run it through Draymond Green. What they've been doing lately is they'll have a Bogut high pick, and then Steph Curry will go back the other way and pick it up on the other side with Draymond Green. So kind of a double whammy.
They run the picket fence for Curry around multiple screens, and he hits the 3. Steph's got 20.
Doesn't take him long to get it out of his hands. It's just remarkable. Coming away from the basket, catching and shooting all in one motion.
That is knocked off Mirotic nicely. Harrison Barnes with the defense. Yeah, that last out of bounds play, we got to see that at some point, because Curry ran around all these picks. He's right-handed and has to turn around and shoot that three, and he does it in a nanosecond. Behind the back to Barnes.
See, he's playing the role of Draymond Green right now. That's a logical step there for him.
Harrison's got 16.
He's going to be open if they double on Curry.
Aaron Brooks for three. Like how Festus soared in for that rebound. So back up to 18 on the back-to-back threes. Barbosa to the line.
He's just trying to take advantage of a bigger defender.
So why are the Warriors so effective on out-of-bounds plays? Around. Bulls know they're jumping at step, but it's gone before they can get there.
Well, you have to fight through staggered screens. It may not get through and clear from the first one or the second, but Steph Curry only needs a little bit of daylight, because he's got the quickest release maybe in the history of the league.
Derrick Rose checking back in with his 23 points. Rose had 21 in that first half. So Barbosa splitting free throws. Butler and Rose, Mirotic with McDermott and Portis. So this is a Chicago small look here with a lot of shooters. Speaking of shooters, Mirotic missing the corner three. Rebound battle loose. Festus diving on the deck, still loose.
Barnes comes up with it. How about an outlet pass?
And the lob to Iguodala, thrown perfectly. Oh, the Warriors like that one.
How about Barbosa? Runs the ball down and had the presence of mind to see the streaking Iguodala.
Otis misfiring. Leandro with the rebound.
That was one spectacular play. Previous one.
Zealy slipped it nicely and Steph found him.
Well, they jump at Steph. He's going to get their attention, and Zealy is going to play the role that Clifford Ray played. Rick Barry to Clifford Ray inside. Keep your eyes on the ball.
Biggest lead of the night is right now as the Warriors push it to 23. And it was the dirty work of Harrison Barnes and Zealy getting that ball off the deck
and throwing it up the floor.
Rebounding is your chance to compete for possession of the ball.
After the scrum, how about the presence of mind? Nice little jump pass from there, and then the lob. On the run, how difficult is that pass to be on the money? It was perfectly delivered on the run.
Festus got to the ground, Harrison got to the ground, got it out, and the skill of Barbosa, and you talk basketball IQ, Iguodala was in a 94-foot sprint to make sure he'd be there for Leandro. That's just spectacular.
It was really unbelievable. And Barbosa grew up playing soccer, didn't use his hands.
I mean, we've seen a lot of Warrior highlights. That play epitomized the grit, the toughness, the skill, and the entertainment value of the Dubs.
All of a sudden, they push this up to 23.
Butler. So Rose first half, Butler second half.
Well, Butler has a career average of 17.8 points a game against the Warriors. That's his best percentage, or excuse me, scoring against any team in the league.
Brandon Rush missing that three. Zealy in traffic, and Festus to the line. The bounce, energy, and height of Festus Ezeli, and Draymond is back on the bench.
Good to see that. Festus liked fighting for that ball. He used the old Jerry Sloan adage, if I go get an offensive rebound, I get to take the shot.
Well, that's one of the funniest conversations we ever had with Jerry Sloan. And he was talking about Greg Ostertag. As Festus misses the free throw, he says, these bigs always talk about touches and this and that. We miss half our shots. I said, feel free to rebound and lay in or dunk any rebound that you get on the offensive end.
There you go. Jerry Sloan, original Chicago Bull. believe he came from the Baltimore Bullets in the expansion draft in '66.
An Evansville Purple Ace. Barry Sloan's one of our favorites. Butler missing there.
Warriors doing a good job of covering the paint on the rebounds with guards even.
Warriors out rebounding the Bulls 45-38.
That's a lot against this team.
It is. You got Taj Gibson and Pau Gasol. Shot clock at 5. Steph down the lane. In the half-court set, he crammed it with the left hand.
Got a left-handed dunk.
His third dunk of the year. Rose had his pocket picked. 1 second. Iguodala with the left hand. And that's about the only thing the Warriors missed in the last 3 minutes. Would they build off the Cleveland game? Would they continue their brilliance? They come to Chicago and play just as well. Well, in a building the Warriors have had very little success in their stops in Chicago. Derrick Rose went for 21 first-half points. But the Warriors hold Chicago to 34% shooting. The passing, 20 assists and only 5 turnovers in the first half. As the Warriors built the lead, Draymond Green hit in the orbital area, had to leave and go to the locker room. And yet the Warriors finished on a 14-2 run in the third and built their biggest lead of the night heading into the fourth. And that 14-2 run was keyed by great defense and great open floor play. And we check in with Roz on Draymond's status.
Draymond Green returned to the Warriors bench at the end of the third quarter with an ice pack. Of course, in Draymond Green's fashion, he's going to return to the game. He was officially hit in the face orbital area.
Portis is fouled. And then he hung on the rim here, so the basket obviously not counting. Didn't go in. Ideally, with a 24-point lead, Luke Walton would like to not have to put Draymond Green back in the game. The Warriors play Friday, and a huge game coming against San Antonio on Monday. Portis dropping in the free throw. Authentic Fanuary in full swing on CSN. Amazing prizes remain, like Warrior tickets and a chance to watch a game in the studio with Greg and Gary. CSNBayArea.com/Authentic Fanuary. Get involved there. The free throws down. Barbosa, Livingston, Brandon Rush with Iguodala and Ezeli. Brandon Rush rimming that three high. Tony Snell playing with Portis to McDermott. Etuan Moore and Derrick Rose knocked out of bounds. It'll be Chicago ball. And Draymond didn't care what the score is. He wanted to come back in. That's a good sign.
Everyone's so alert tonight. They got their mojo back.
Well, you're wondering, you know, all different kind of outcomes when you're coming to the building. Holding the Bulls to 34% was not one of the outcomes you'd be thinking about.
Well, let's see if they do a better job in the fourth quarter. They did allow Cleveland to get 31, I believe, in that fourth quarter.
Etuan Moore with the drive and finish.
The bench played so well in the first half. Barbosa's been good. Livingston, terrific. Iguodala, of course.
Barbosa missing that three. Yeah, Iguodala 10, Barbosa 9, Livingston 6, and so that's good scoring. Their open floor play in their defense. Leandro went for the steal, committed the foul.
I always felt when the ball squirts like that, that means you got a lot of the ball. If you get the arm, the ball usually doesn't move too far. Barbosa didn't argue too much, but he got a lot of ball there. Oh, my.
Derrick Rose going to get bailed out there.
Yep.
That's...
He was snookered by 2 defenders.
Players miss shots and sometimes officials miss calls, and this is just one of them. Not that big a deal, but this is the ultimate principle of verticality. You jump straight up, and Player jumps into you.
Well, Derrick Rose is smart. He jumps in to get the contact. Maneuvers around with his arms. You'll see him here. That is good defense.
I think what's interesting with Rose, the scoring is terrific as the Bulls 6 unanswered. But he's taken 17 shots and he has 1 assist.
You said that earlier. You know, that number hasn't changed.
If that's your point guard and the way he can draw the defense, Warriors throw it away. So getting a little loose here the first minute and a half of the fourth.
It's a little early to do that.
I mean, Rose beats people off the dribble. If he was setting up teammates for layups and dunks, then the Bulls would be even more powerful. That cross-court pass somehow got to Snell.
Good help defense. Everybody's just covering up. Still got the basket, but they earned it.
Now Luke Walton's going to use the timeout here. Chicago has scored the first 8, and it's a 16-point game. So 10-13 remaining. Warriors have played very good basketball, and yet Chicago's not going away. 16-point lead, trying to come home with a winning road trip for the Midwest.
Find out provider.
Warrior lead at 16, and the mark of a championship team is winning a number of different ways. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are 10 of 28, being outscored 44-31 by Butler and Rose, and yet the depth of the Warriors is why they're winning the game.
Well, the depth will be tested right here. They've got to preserve what the Warriors accomplished in the first 3 quarters. Game is not over. You've got a little over 10 minutes to go, and so far in this fourth quarter, the Bulls have outscored the Warriors 8-zip.
They put so much pressure on Steph and Klay every night. So to see them 10 of 28 and being outscored by 13 in the backcourt, that doesn't happen very often. And yet the rest of the Warriors building that 16-point lead. And the Bulls are on a run here to begin the fourth. And Derrick Rose missing the 3, so that 8-0 Chicago skid to begin the fourth quarter. Warriors need a bucket. Klay Thompson will get the contact and get to the line.
I love it. One pump fake, then a little reverse pivot, and another one. He worked really hard to get himself to the line there.
And Klay's 3 of 12, the perimeter shot not dropping. Go inside, get to the line. That's what you do on the road as a veteran.
Kept his left foot pivot foot down. I'm telling you, in this league, everyone will jump. On that kind of pump fake, they're going to jump and just show a little patience, which Klay did.
What happens with the shooter, Jim, on a free throw? They see the ball go through the basket. Something kind of clicks, you know, you just kind of feel that.
I've always felt that that's just a great advantage to be able to go to get yourself to the line, and somehow you just get yourself going. You feel the ball go in, you got a couple points on the board, and you feel like you're contributing.
Derrick Rose,
he just gets anywhere he wants on the floor. That's the sign of a great point guard offensively. And like you said, it'd be nice if he could dish it off to some players, get easy hoops.
Deflected out of bounds, still Warrior ball. Well, the adage in the NBA is good players do for themselves, but great players do for others. And so Derrick Rose is doing for himself terrific tonight. But 27 points and 1 assist. He's not helping out. And Klay Thompson, another Warrior out of bounds play.
What a play. Moore, as I said, is a good defender. He's trailing the play the whole time. He thought he had him covered, and yet it was the extra little effort to Klay to go to the other side of the rim. That's just forgetting to block out.
Portis following up the Rose miss.
If Portis learns to play defense, he'll be a good player in this league.
At 20, he's awfully young and certainly can score with the big boys.
Oh, very nice. Here's again, you slip the screen. They're going to switch for Klay, and that's when Livingston said, I'm going to cut to the basket. That is just reading the defense beautifully.
There's Portis on an elite defender. And rattled halfway down and out. Iguodala somehow got that through.
Oh, he wanted the assist. He's upset. How about this last play? See the screen? So they start to switch, and Livingston said, "Say, I'm not going to worry about McDermott. I'm just going to cut to the hoop." And that is expertly done.
And a good look by Harrison, too. Very patient, and Rose will get to the line.
Alcohol on Draymond Green, his third.
So Draymond's third foul.
Derrick Rose, 2 shots.
Ben Taylor explaining. If I were the Bulls, I'd be a little excited about Rose's energy tonight.
Sure.
You know, I think coming back from his various injuries, there were times he did not, he was playing at 40 miles an hour. This is the 75-mile-an-hour Derrick Rose. He looks terrific.
They just didn't get much from their front line. Their starting front line tonight with Gasol, Gibson, and Snell.
Well, Mirotic, Snell, and Gasol were 0 for 18.
You're kidding me. 0 for 18.
It's tough to, you're not going to beat the Warriors when that happens. There's a long way to go in this game. 16 points on the road is not any certainty. And Klay Thompson, again, moving without the ball. Now a technical. And this is on Draymond.
On number 23, Draymond Green.
Draymond's
start adding those up.
Yeah, well, here's the issue. I don't even know whether he got his money's worth on that one. Not quite sure what he said, but you know, you start these T's add up to the point where you don't want to get Draymond to get suspended.
That's
for a
what
game.
I'm thinking.
Because 2,500 a T is one thing. A game check for suspension is a huge amount of money.
Well, forget the money. How about just missing a game that maybe you want to win? Maybe it comes against San Antonio later on.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they play in 2 of the final 4. As Livingston got the steal and he was fouled.
Derrick Rose, his third, second team foul.
Indiana Friday and San Antonio on Monday. At Oracle, and everyone in the NBA looking forward to that matchup. Warriors will get Saturday, Sunday off. The Spurs get Saturday, Sunday off. So both teams will be rested. The Indiana game will be another playoff opponent. Friday night at Oracle. Klay Thompson missing the jumper. Draymond knocked it out, but out of the reach of Iguodala. Get to the line.
Sometimes you just can't untangle. Klay reached in. He wanted to get that arm back, I believe, and just could not lose the grip. Jimmy Butler, since December 30th, averaging 26.6 a game over the last 11 games.
Well, Spurs and Warriors. Where are you going to be on Monday night? Be at Oracle. All fans get a Warrior t-shirt, courtesy of Bay Area BMW. It'll be a one-of-a-kind Warrior t-shirt at 888-GSW-HOOP. Kawhi Leonard is having a season that, along with Draymond and Steph, and Draymond finding Livingston
for another dunk. This has got to be very discouraging for Fred Hoiberg. The number of baskets and points in the paint for the Warriors. They've got 44 points in the paint.
Of their 97.
And it's supposed to be a jump shooting team.
Not all threes. Warriors still maintaining the big lead.
Now at Roundtable.
Authentic Fan Friday at Oracle. CSN Bay Area giving away 100 free tickets. You can still sit in the Authentic Fan section. Either you don't win the freebies, go to csnbayarea.com for more info. And that will be Indiana on Friday at our Metro PCS Unlimited Performance. The Pacers of Paul George, Monte Ellis, the Spurs, and the Clash of Titans on Monday night. And then Dallas, Warriors lost to Big D without Steph Curry on December 30th. So 3 playoff opponents on this road trip, 3 playoff opponents coming up at home. Rose missing. Steph and Draymond actually fought for that rebound. And both had a kind of wry smile after it went out of bounds. Curry thought he got all ball, but called for the foul. You know what is remarkable, Jim, after tonight is with 39 games remaining, 7 of those 39 will be against the Spurs and Thunder. We're getting done with, Steph got arm there.
Oh, yes.
That was correctly called.
No, the schedule's much tougher than the first half.
Yeah, I mean, 7.
But a lot of at home.
7, and I'll expand it even to Atlanta.
Sure.
2 against Atlanta and 7 against the Thunder and Spurs. So 9 of your 39 are really tough games.
Well, that'll test them for the playoffs. Well, once again, a lot of number 30 jerseys and T-shirts around the league. How about a backdoor again? Just run off a high screen by Steph Curry.
How about Sean coming home to Illinois? He's got a dozen, and Andre coming back to Illinois, he's got 10.
Inspired basketball tonight. Sean Livingston's been superb. Never seen him better.
And there's the deflection, and then Livingston was held.
He was good with those 16 points on Christmas Day against Cleveland, 8 in the fourth quarter. He is lively tonight. Back screen, no help. Easy flush. That's a high school play. You learn that in 7th and 8th grade. And the Bulls did not respond or react to it defensively.
Tried to get through the mix. It was knocked out of bounds. Draymond had the look there. Steph Curry in triple-double territory with 22, 9, and 7. Draymond 6, 10, and 7. And Klay Thompson, I just admired Klay's game tonight. The jump shot hasn't been there, but all these cuts, all this attacking, getting to the line, just doing something else.
Yeah, he's worked
just settling for jumpers.
Yeah, so long and deep in this game, he was held to 3 and then 4 points, and he got it going inside.
Snell able to get that to ricochet in as Draymond flew by.
I don't know Snell, but I like him because he's from Riverside.
Nice.
MLK High School.
Steph Curry 3, yes sir.
You don't defend that. You just can't defend it.
So 3 boards away for Steph from a triple-double. I don't know if he'll be in the game for 3 more rebounds, but
you think with Steph Curry, like they say, well, I don't want to defend that because he can't make that, can he?
Yes, he can. That's good effort by Portis.
Curry's got 3 threes tonight. That means he's got 42 threes in the last 7 games and shooting it at 49%.
Curry another 3, and that one halfway down and out.
Pretty amazing when you start averaging 46 makes a game from 3-point range.
Want to learn how to play defense? Do what Klay Thompson did. Retreat, and then steal it. Don't commit a foul. You said Klay's jumper's been off tonight. But he's a great 2-way player, as is Jimmy Butler. You will see them both in Toronto.
Well, their backcourt guards have been good at the offensive end, and only at the offensive end.
Yeah, Butler and Derrick Rose with 52 of Chicago's 86, but the Bulls are being held to 37% shooting.
Let's see what Curry has, and they've got, again, Draymond Green, you find the corner. Okay? I mean, there it is again. How many times have we seen that in the last 2 games? They did it repeatedly against Cleveland. Double team Curry, they blitz him. Green is open. They come at him. He's going to find a man in the corner. If they don't, he'll finish it inside.
And I think Harrison getting that corner 3 back and dialed in. Now you see how lethal the Warriors are with Harrison Barnes with 19 tonight. Klay Thompson, and now the 3s are dropping, and that was the only thing missing from full-on Warrior basketball.
How about 1 of 19 from 3-point range for the Bulls as opposed to 11 of 31 from the Warriors?
Biggest lead of the night equaled again.
Anna thinks you need a PhD.
24-point lead, and the Illinois guys have enjoyed this one. Andre Iguodala involved in our Rams shot of the game. Taking it in the reverse throwdown. The Rams shot of the game. Iguodala 10 points, 7 rebounds in 23 minutes. Livingston 12 points in 16 minutes. 25 from Steph, 20 from Clay, 19 from Harrison Barnes. And would the Warriors build off the Cleveland game? The answer was a definitive yes. Steph Curry, 25 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. And oh, by the way, he's still the best shooter in the world. Poor Pau Gasol there. Hey, I blocked the shot. Turns around and throws a 10-footer right back in.
Made him a volume three-point shooter tonight, 3 of 9. So that means over the past 4 games in the last 2 years, 9 of 34 from three-point range.
He doesn't like this building, I don't think. Not from distance, anyway. Bobby Portis is going to be heard from in a Chicago uniform. 16 points.
I gave you that scouting report. I saw him play in the preseason.
No, you're right on the money.
You can tell. You can see and identify and define a scorer when you see him.
Brandon Rush
nice.
Playing with Spates, Jason Thompson, Ian Clark, and Barbosa. So the night done for the Warrior heavy minute starters.
Nice to see Rush get on the board with that.
Now Cameron Bairstow, Jim, is another Australian that has made his way into the NBA. So getting an opportunity here.
Via New Mexico.
Ooh, Barbosa is rocked, and that's a blocking foul. And I could barely even say Bairstow's name before he was involved in a collision. You say the Aussies like to bang and bump a little bit.
Well, he's trying to take the charge. Let's watch. He's waiting in there, but his right heel was on the restricted line. Probably the only thing that saved Barbosa.
You know, very quietly last 4 or 5 games, Leandro's back to his kind of quickness.
Yes.
Changing the game offensively.
Yeah, he's got it back a little bit.
I don't see the shoulder bothering him at all. He's ready to go.
Shot it very well tonight so far.
E'Twaun Moore has had some interesting drives tonight. I remember him handling it quite as well, but he's always been a quality defensive player. He's gotten in the lane a few times. For Chicago, they are probably just below, as Jason Thompson gets fouled, that Cleveland, Atlanta, Toronto at that level in the East, and then below that is probably the Bulls and others. But you know, the Raptors, Jim, this whole idea that Cleveland's going to be in the Eastern, Toronto's, DeRozan and Kyle Lowry are doing some special things right now.
They've got the second best record in the East at 26-15 due to the Raptors. Hosting Boston tonight at home.
And for the Bulls, it's still figuring out Butler and Rose can do their thing and get others involved. You're the #1 field goal percentage team, are Chicago, so they clearly guard.
It's funny how Butler struggled that first half. We talked about without Derrick Rose, Butler averages 34 a game. With him, he averages 22. He's got 23 tonight.
E'Twaun Moore again.
I think it goes back to what you're talking about. Derrick Rose with the 2 assists tonight. He's looking to score more than assist.
Warriors 35 assists, 10 turnovers. Against Cleveland, it was 33 assists, 8 turnovers.
Those two ought to ask Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, how do you get that kind of chemistry?
Bo Spates dropping in the jumper.
It is a team game.
I bet if you ask the Warriors, they'd want to play the Spurs on Friday. After this Cleveland and Chicago game, keep it going.
You've got a point there.
And Indiana's really good. Paul George and Monte are something special. Pacers can get out in transition. Brandon Rush missing. Spates with the rebound. And Mo was going to go up, and Bairstow just took it from him. E'Twaun Moore, and it was an air ball.
4 years at Purdue for Moore. First year in Boston, second-round pick, and played in Orlando a couple years, too.
Ian Clark looked like Steph right there.
Yes, he did.
Beautiful finish. Dermott unable to finish.
Tried to duplicate the same thing.
And Ian putting it in, and every Warrior that has played has scored in the game. James Michael McAdoo was injured. Other than that,
yeah, he's got to be pretty disappointed he's not being able to play in some of these games where there are minutes available.
The Brazilian Felicio missing the three there.
Thompson gets a block.
Greg and the guys getting ready for Honda Postgame Live. Speights will shoot a three. The capper, Mo's second made three of the season. And the Warriors leave Cleveland and Chicago, reminding the East who is the world champs. And for Chicago fans nervous about this Warrior team winning 72 games, they play like they did the last two. The Warriors are going to keep stacking up the W's. 125-94.
That's the most points allowed this season by the Bulls.
So in Cleveland, it was the biggest deficit LeBron ever faced, 43. Tonight, the most Chicago allows all year, 125-94. The Warriors come home 2-1 on the road trip. And the beat goes on with the world champs, Indiana and the Spurs. Coming up, Warrior Postgame Live, presented by Honda, is coming up after a Warrior blowout win in Chicago right now.
After a rough start in Detroit on Saturday, it winds up another winning road trip as the Illinois guys off the bench go home. Andre Iguodala, a couple of nice jams. He's from Springfield, Illinois. And Sean Livingston from Peoria, Illinois. He may have had to play the game with that wraparound left-handed pass inside to Leandro Barbosa. To talk about that and many other plays, let's go back to the United Center and rejoin Roz.
Sean, 2 strong starts in a row. What have you guys committed yourselves to?
Defense. Plain and simple.
What weren't you doing on defense?
Pressure on the ball, and we were active. Our attention to detail and, you know, our intensity on the ball, and we're just active.
On the offensive end, in the past 2 games, you've been getting a lot of back cuts. How have you been picking apart their defense?
Just movement, constant movement. I mean, with the, you know, the system that we have and the personnel we have with Steph and Clay, you know, defenses are constantly loading up and, you know, they're worried about those guys. So we have to be active on the offense and moving the ball and then moving bodies.
When you aren't creating shots for each other, there were a few times, especially early in the game, where you had some nice isolation plays. What were you able to take advantage of, and how do you exploit those moments?
My height and just, you know, playing my game. That's my game down there. You know, that's home. You know, so I think you did a special on that. That's home for me down there.
Yeah, you did teach me how to post up as a guard. Right. Now, speaking of home, this is your hometown. How fun is it to have a nice game with your family around?
Technically, Peoria is my hometown, but this is close. You know, this is close. This is close.
Same state.
Exactly, same state. So it's good. You know, families here. You know, people get a chance to come and watch us play. Obviously, we get a lot of airtime, but for them to come and watch us live, you know, it's always good.
All right, thanks, Sean. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Greg.
All right, Roz, thank you. And the Warriors wind up with a nice, solid 2-1 road trip. Saints looking at the box score. Welcome to Honda Warriors Postgame Live. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean. I want you to concentrate on the first quarter of the box score. The Warriors averaged 30 points a game in first quarters this year. Even in Detroit on Saturday, they scored 30, outscored the Pistons 30-27. It was the second quarter that was the nightmare when they were outscored 38-19. But Monday in Cleveland, St. Louis, they jumped them 34-21 as Steph had 16 of the first quarter on the holiday. Tonight, they shoot 60% from the floor. Moved the ball so well. Steph had a 10-point first quarter, and you just like the way they set the tone on Monday and then continued it all the way out. Today, they were tied at 14, then went off on a 7-0 run, and they wind up with a 2-1 road trip and played nearly as well tonight as they did Monday in Cleveland.
First period, it was telling to me that they had 12 assists. And the other point that I would make is that Chicago only scored 17 points. And when I saw that, I said, they're locked in, they're ready. And the message from Sean Livingston is right on point. You know, the veteran guys have got to keep communicating, coach the veterans to younger guys. Why are we special? Because we can defend better than anybody else in the league when we're locked in. And then the game gets easier for you because you get out in transition, you get easier looks, you share the ball, you get 34 assists tonight. So these last two games tells you that put that other game behind us, that Detroit game, back on point. Get ready for this game Friday and then your game on
January 25th arrives with the San Antonio Spurs and our Spurs on Monday. Our BMW turning point. They actually had 38 assists.
38?
38 assists tonight. In Detroit on Saturday, they had only 18 assists. They came back with 33 on Cleveland on Monday. They wind up with 38 assists versus 10 turnovers, 38 on 50 baskets. Conversely, the Chicago Bulls only had 14 assists tonight on 37 baskets. So you're exactly right. Lockdown defense on one end, clear the defensive board, and then just share the ball. Doesn't matter who shoots it, but seemingly the right guy does. But just find the guy that's open and get a good shot. And that's what 38 assists lately. This is the 21st game this year. They've had 30 or more assists in a game. Atlanta's got 10. The Spurs have 7. But to have this kind of total, Atlanta's number 2 and San Antonio 3, they share the ball kind of like the Warriors do. But 21 games, Saint, where you've had 30 or more assists, and tonight they had 38 assists.
Let me tell you what, when you're sitting on that other bench and you call timeout after a couple of those threes and you give the signal, timeout, and you go over there to talk to your team, the wind is out of the sail. They really are deflated because, you know, when that ball really moves, the defense can't shift well enough, and when you have the perimeter game that the Warriors do, if you don't get up and crowd those guys, you're in big trouble. And when you do get up and play them tight, then you've got back cuts coming. I'll tell you what, it really is discouraging to the other team.
And they had some incredible passes. That behind-the-back left-handed pass that Livingston had to Barbosa, that's got to make the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That'll be coming up in a little bit later time. Let's go back to United Center one more time to wind up the road trip. Go courtside and bring Bob Fitzgerald and Jim Barnett and Honda Warriors postgame live. We're just marveling at the final box here, Fitz, where they had 38 assists tonight on 50 baskets versus only 10 turnovers. The ball was hopping tonight.
Well, the thing is, Pop, added up the last two games. 71 assists, 18 turnovers. 71 assists and 18 turnovers in 2 basketball games. You got to be kidding me. And then, oh, by the way, hold the Bulls under 40% shooting. And they were miserable with Chicago from three-point land. They're the 5th best three-point shooting team. So offense, defense, superlatives, great plays. How much fun is this team?
Well, they're learning that if you share the basketball, if you give it up, you get it back. How many times did we see people go on outside screens and then they're free at the basket? The Warriors had 58 points in the paint tonight, and they didn't do that just going one-on-one. It was usually a pass leading to a layup. We saw Klay Thompson get several of those. We saw Sean Livingston get several of those. Everybody got in the act, and it's fun basketball. And if we're talking about a schedule that gets tougher the second half of the season, well, you might as well be playing your best basketball, which they are right now. These Cleveland and Chicago games, just absolutely superb. They did everything right.
You know, in the movie Secretariat, they used to say, let Secretariat trail, let another horse lead, and bring out the competition instinct. That Detroit loss has triggered something. And the Warriors know the Spurs are coming. They know Indiana Friday first, but they know the Spurs are coming. The Cleveland game and tonight, well, how will they fare against some of the beasts of the East? After they lost to Detroit, they have refocused.
Now, with that, when you're playing another 39 to 40 games the rest of the year, there are going to be a couple of games like that. You need that throughout you need that once in a while to get the wake-up call. I mean, these are human beings right now, but they're playing at the top of their game. I love the way they're sharing the basketball. I love the way the bench is playing. And I like the way, as Sean Livingston said, they're playing defense. It starts right there. When you play that kind of defense, it just spurs the offense. And right now, they're just moving the ball and getting anything they want.
You know, Pop, now that Harrison Barnes looks like himself again, you stop Steph, he throws it to Draymond, you stop Draymond, and Harrison hit you for 19. So the Warriors now are clicking on all cylinders. It'd be a good time to come home.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to say is this was a good three-point shooting team. The Bulls, 5th in the league. They're 1 of 20 tonight, so the Warriors did a good job of running them off the three-point line, which is their #1 priority at the defensive area in a half court.
Yeah, I want to hear that sound effect again. What is it?
That is the highlight zone. And after a 34-point win Monday in Cleveland, a 31-point win tonight. First time the Warriors have had back-to-back 30-point wins on the road since Barnett was a Warrior back in 72-73. So think of that on the flight home. And we'll see you Friday at Oracle Arena for the Indiana Pacers, then the big showdown with the Spurs coming in on Monday. All right, Steph Curry, solid game tonight, St. Lee, 8 of 18. In total, 3 of 9. He had 25 points. He had 11 assists in the game. Only 2 turnovers. Wasn't a monster game, but just whenever he needs to squeeze off a shot, he will lose the defender with his dribble. It's just incredible.
That behind the back and the defender fell down, and the whole bench stood up and was going crazy. He just makes these magnificent plays. That shot right there over Pau Gasol, he turned over the wrong shoulder. And how about the lefty dunk, Pop?
Wow. That's 3 for him this year now. He's got 3 dunks. And we were a little concerned about Bogut at halftime with the strained back. It tightened up, but he came back and played great. We were concerned about Draymond getting hit in the left eye. But Bogut's line tonight, St. Lee, he plays 20 minutes. He has 6 points. He has 12 rebounds in the game. He has 3 block shots. He sets the best screens in the NBA. And he held, I don't know if you noticed, but Pau Gasol, I don't know if you noticed, St. Lee, he was 0 for 8 from the floor. Pau Gasol scored 1 point tonight on Bogut.
Their starting front line had 7 points tonight. Wow. Bogues has an instinct that you can't teach. He just understands where the ball's coming off the board better than the other people on the floor, and he goes to that area. We call those guys space eaters. He's got great hands, and he's a position rebounder. Not a big jumper, but he locks into that position, and he pursues the ball beautifully.
Their starting front court combined for 7 points tonight.
Unreal.
Pau Gasol is one of the best big man shooters in the game, was 0 for 8. Tony Snell, a good three-point shooter, was 1 for 8, and Taj Gibson 1 for 6. Jimmy Butler, who's their best overall player, he kind of got to his numbers, but he was not shooting the ball most of the game very well at all. He's not a great shooter, saying he's a volume scorer, but if his jump shot's not falling, you can live with him taking jumpers on you.
You want him to beat you over the top. He's a good driver and slasher. Some of his shots, I'd question his understanding of what's a good shot and a bad shot. And when your best player has to be a volume shooter, that can have negativity on the rest of the club.
All right. Fitz never heard our highlights.
He's never heard that.
Well, he's always working or flying back home. So I don't even know how we're going to get 3 highlights.
I don't know. This is tough.
Livingston's behind the back left-hander to Barbosa.
That's got to be one.
But how about Barbosa? I don't even know what that alley-oop was, saying. It was like a little underhand flip from the 3-point line. We got so much tonight on do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Maybe one of those, too. He's from Springfield, Illinois. He may go to Springfield, Mass. one day.
Oh, my.
Warriors post-game live.
Try the 2-ball drill, and then we'll relive that clampdown against James Harden. Warriors played great defense tonight. The Bulls were 1 for 20 from 3-point land tonight. 37 of 100 in total, 37% and 5% on threes. And the Warriors had to play a chunk of the game, minus their best overall defender, Draymond Green, who was hit by Taj Gibson inadvertently, but the heel of Gibson's hand will go into the left eye. That's where he got Derrick Rose in training camp, and he broke the orbital bone around the eye, but it wasn't as bad. Draymond did come back into the game. As you see Gibson right there, get him in the left eye socket. He went right down immediately. Did come back late third quarter, then played in the fourth quarter. Let's get the update on Draymond and the eye area around that left eye from interim head coach Luke Walton. We get reaction right now from Chicago.
Of our wings or what to do. So obviously we were excited when they came out and told us he was good to go, cleared the concussion test, and no scratches on the eye. So he's just kind of being safe. Sometimes you just you're at home for a while, and you forget how hard it is to win on the road in the NBA, and fly across the country, no practice, and they're getting ready to play the NBA champs. And they played harder than us that night, and they executed it. We just weren't sharp that night, and that happens to every team, every season. There's no team that doesn't have nights like that. We just had a bad night, and our guys normally respond very well after not playing well. And I think they got embarrassed by Detroit kicking our butts, and they kind of refocused and locked in. And the last 2 games have been great.
Was there a moment after that concert when we find?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I never didn't think we were going to be fine. It's just the way this league goes. I think because we were 37-4. People just assume that we're not going to have those type of games because we hadn't really up to that point. And, it's obviously we're not happy when that happens, and we don't want to make excuses, and we don't want that to happen again. But we're also real about it, knowing that in 82 games, there's going to be normally a lot more than one game where you get smacked around out there, and the other team is just playing better than you. So we weren't ever concerned, but it's nice to see our guys playing this way again.
What did you think of Andrew tonight, Bogut, and is he dealing with a little something?
Yeah, he hurt his back out there. I'm not sure exactly what it was. He was awesome. We told him it's totally up to him if he wanted to play in the second half, and he said he wanted to try it. Even though he wasn't running well, he was still making a lot of plays for us and blocking shots and rebounding, keeping the ball alive on the glass there. So, I knew once we took him out, he wasn't going back in. And, he said he felt good enough to keep playing.
How good is it just to be?
All right, Warriors, after losing 2 out of 3, bounce back in a big way with great performances in Cleveland and Chicago. We'll have the highlight zone. We'll get Monty Poole's reaction on the emphatic win tonight in Chicago, and they're coming home for the Pacers and Spurs and Mavericks. This is Honda Warriors Postgame Live.
We should call your mom.
All right, welcome back to Honda Warriors Postgame Live. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, rejoined by Monty Poole. It was tied at 14, and then the Warriors just raced right by him.
They hit the gas.
The game Saturday in Detroit, Auburn Hills, Michigan, the Palace. Did this kind of give them a major? I know they're great,
yeah,
but they were humbled that day and night. Did that give them a major wake-up call? Because the game Monday and the game tonight, they were just fabulous.
I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, they played their worst game of the season on Saturday, and they come back with their 2 best games of the season, given the circumstances going into Cleveland, which they've been waiting for this game in Cleveland. The Cavaliers have been waiting. They're fully healthy. They knew the Warriors were coming. The Warriors blew them off the floor. And then going back to Chicago after 2 nights later and blowing these guys off the floor, this is as good as it gets for the Warriors right now. I mean, if they can maintain this for a few more days, you'll have something special on Monday night.
Yeah, 39-4 now with the win tonight, so you have a 2.5-game lead over the Spurs, who are idle tonight. Spurs will play in Phoenix tomorrow night. They'll be at Staples against the Lakers. Warriors are home for the Pacers on Friday. Then they duel finally on Monday. Let's go to the highlight zone. The Sean Livingston wraparound left-handed behind-the-back pass, Saintly to Barbosa, one of the best we've seen out of the low post.
Well, I'm going to share with you that's where he's comfortable down there. That guy right there.
I got him, G. Rose has got him. Where'd the ball go?
Yeah, what happened? You look like Meadowlark Lemon in the post. Watch this.
Watch this. Alley-oop for, what kind of a pass was that, Monty? It was like a scoop lob.
Just scoop pass. You know, these guys, they practice these things, and that's why they look so good. It's pretty awesome when you see them because it's like most of the team can do it, and most of the team can throw it down on the other end.
Now he's got 3 dunks on the year. We got to, Saintly, we got to go to practice one time. So they throw all these lobs and take all these shots all during their practices?
After practice and so forth, they mess around all the time. So this is not by accident. This is by design. They can do these things.
Yeah, they only do those things in practice, though, when all the coaches have already gone into the locker room, because the coaches don't want to see that. A little Barbosa this way. They're like,
that was awesome. I didn't quite know how he did it.
Steph ends every practice with a little lob that he throws down. Every practice, pretty much, he ends it that way.
The Warriors do have more dunks than any team in the NBA this year and last year, so Lob City, I think, is way behind. You want to do a rim run, Saintly?
I love these.
We could do a rum run, too, if you want. But look at Iguodala get out in the break here, and a reverse dunk on the pass by Draymond Green. Boy, is his legs fresh right now?
Boy, boy.
He's not done yet.
Here's
This
your
is the
pass.
one. There's the Barbosa pass.
I love that.
Now, what if that doesn't work, Saline? It's a tight game.
Well, keep running to the locker room because the coach already took you out of the game. Get out of here.
But he hit him right on stride. It was a magnificent pass.
They almost always do. It's almost like the longer passes work better than the shorter lobs, you know? It's impressive to watch.
This team has nothing but fun. They have fun during the games.
That's
they have even more fun.
Success, man.
It is.
More fun in practice. All right, so the road trip was rocky to start with a loss in Detroit on Saturday. You go 2-1 again on the trip, and now you're home for a 3-game homestand. San Antonio on Monday, Dallas next Wednesday, but the Indiana Pacers and Paul George and Monte Ellis back to Oracle Arena on Friday on an authentic Fran Friday. We'll get you ready on Honda Warriors Postgame Live.